Welcome into the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Shane Diefenbach, joined as always by Johnny Venerable. And if you didn't realize, that was a car alarm going off because Derek Carr plays football tonight. Johnny, how you feeling?
It was a tough one. It was a tough one with Cardinals yesterday, forgetting potentially where the ball was supposed to be placed, forgetting how to bet over the weekend. Have not had a good, I would say, 4 to 5 day period over on DraftKings through no fault of their own. They keep giving me free money. They keep giving me free bets. I'm just not cashing in where I need to.
Yeah, I had a bad Sunday. My props, I went 0 for on my props, I believe. And just not great. We can pull up my picks first. I think I went 2 for 4 because I had a push. Niners cash. That was so easy. I don't know why I didn't throw more money on that. Dolphins minus 3.5. That was just so a weird game with Teddy Bridgewater getting hurt in the first quarter. Chargers minus 2 was the push. Falcons covered that plus 10, even though they should have won outright, honestly. And Detroit at New England. Look, when you handicap games, and something that you expected to happen does happen, but the for sure thing doesn't, it really hurts. And I thought the Patriots were going to score a lot of points, and they did. I did not expect the best offense in the NFL to get completely blanked. I think they probably didn't score a lot of points, but I didn't expect them to score 0. So that sucks. 2 for 2 on my props, and then my picks, and then my props went 0 for, I believe. Jamar Chase did not catch that total. That was stuff happens. Drake London MIA for most of that game, and then Baker Mayfield somehow surpassed that, even though he has the worst quarterback rating in NFL history past a couple of weeks. It's just really bad. Johnny, how did you do?
Not much better. Let's take it out. Cards money line. Listen, we were close. They covered the spread. I think it got down to 5. They covered that. Rams minus 5.5. We mentioned it. We should have put our 401k, our mortgages on, or excuse me, not the Rams. I'm thinking of the 49ers. The Rams did not cover. They lost outright. It's great to see. Washington football money line should have won, didn't, throw a pick at the end. Packers covered. No, they lost outright. And then the under for Cardinals Eagles hit. So I went 0 for on my straight picks. Jamal Williams did not score. Mike Evans did not have a first TD, but he did have a monster game. And then Shane, you're the only prop I hit, looking like a TD here on a Monday. So,
Johnny, this might be the worst Sunday we've ever had. Genuinely, that's insane.
Get them all out of the way right now.
But you shake, as the great Taylor Swift once said, shake it off, shake it all the way off. We're gonna make some money for you guys on Monday, I promise. But I did want to just recap what my Sunday was. This is kind of the epitome of it. Don't chase. If you're down money, don't try to win it back. Just take your losses. I did not. I made a parlay of the 3 afternoon games. I had Cowboys money line because I just felt it. That pass rush is too good for that offensive line. That hit. I had the Niners minus 6.5. That hit. Then I had the Eagles minus 5.5, and they just didn't want to score a touchdown. They were fine with their 3 points, and that would have netted me. That would have put me in the positive. That would have been fine. Not the best weekend for the boys, but hey, this is what happens. We're normal people. We're not superheroes. We're still over 60%.
We are.
Check our record at PHNX Bets on Twitter. But it's time for a new week, and it's time for a Monday night game. We'll get into our Monday night picks later in the episode, but for now, it's time for Guess the Lines. Mr. Johnny Venerable, we are 2-2 on the year, I believe, right? This is week. No, you're 3-2 because now we're going into week 6. Guess the lines. Producer Emma, what's our first one? Johnny, you'll go first with this one since you won last week.
All right. Okay. First one, we have Commanders at Bears.
Oh, the Thursday night game everybody's been waiting for. Commanders at Bears.
So tasty. Bears are going to be favored at this game. They're talking about benching Carson Wentz. I think the Bears put up a pretty valiant effort yesterday, kind of had the fluke play at the end of the game. I'm going to say the Bears are just a regular 3-point favorite at home. Bears minus 3.
I'm going to go Bears minus 2.5.
Bears minus 1.
Bears minus 1. No points for either of us. Goose,
I like
darn it.
Game a lot.
I don't want to watch that game, but I'm going to. And I'm probably going to throw a lot of money on it. Next one.
All right. This is Sunday morning. Jets at Packers.
Banger. Absolute slapper of a game. Packers are still going to be favored against the New York team. They're at home. I'll go touchdown favorite. Packers minus 7.
I don't. I think it's going to be Packers somewhere in the vicinity of 5.5. Packers 5.5. The Jets are 2-3 for the first time in what feels like a millennium. They're playing good defense, and the Packers just lost a brutal game. Now they have to travel back home from London. Packers minus 5.5.
Packers minus 7.5.
Yeah, the books love Aaron Rodgers, man. They might be on that ayahuasca as well. 1-0. What's our next one?
We have Bucks at Steelers.
Steelers season feels like it's done.
Yeah.
Buccaneers feel like they're going to be the 1 seed in the NFC because they keep playing a bunch of garbage teams. I'm going to say Buccaneers on the road. Jesus, this could be another brutal game for Mike Tomlin. Bucks -7.
Yeah. I'm going to go Bucks -8.
Bucks -8.5.
Damn.
2-0, Johnny boy.
All right, we have 49ers at Falcons.
Oh, okay. So the Bucks were at home. They were favored by 10 against the Falcons, but the books love the Niners, and they're on the road. I'm going to say Niners minus, take the 3 points away. I'll just go 7. Niners -7.
It's bigger than that. Niners -9.
49ers -5.5.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Still 2-0.
That might be my default lock. I'm all over that. I
Well,
love that
they're
line.
missing a bunch of players, and the Falcons have been competitive, but I think we're
Yeah,
starting to see
but
the
that's why
crack.
I think that the line is lower than it should be. All right, 2-0 still.
All right. Jags at Colts. Jaguars at Colts.
Oh God. Oh, just put both of these teams down. Oh my God.
I'm
Jaguars
gonna say
at
Colts are
Colts.
gonna be favored.
Give me. I don't know if they. Yeah, Colts -2.
Yeah, I was gonna say Colts. I'll say Colts -2.5.
Colts -1.5. 3-2.
I almost
Come
said
on,
Or
mine.
baby.
3-0.
3-0.
I talked myself out of it.
Let's go.
All right, we have Bengals at Saints.
So many gross games. This is the grossest line yet. The slate of games. Bengals at Saints. Zach Taylor. People want to call Cliff Kingsbury a fraud, and he might be. Zach Taylor's a fraud.
You know it's going to be
Um,
exciting. If do the Broncos play the Bengals at some point
I
this
don't
year?
know.
Because that would be a coaching display. Don't we get the Broncos play? Who do they play on Monday night? Emma, can you look?
Mhm.
They play somebody. They
Broncos play the Chargers.
play the
Monday night.
Chargers. Yeah, there you go. That's the coaching battle. You get
The
Nathaniel Hackett
inevitable
against Brandon
display.
Staley. We're gonna get some weird calls there.
Bengals at Saints. I'm gonna say it feels like a pick'em again. All these games feel like pick'ems. I'm gonna say Saints -1.
No, the people love the Bengals. The Bucks love the Bengals. I couldn't believe. Actually, they were 3-point dogs they were on the road. They're on the road again. Saints aren't good. Bengals -1.5.
Right on the money. 4-0 Shane.
Not a good.
Oh
not a
my
good day.
domination!
Not a
4-0.
good day.
All right, this one is Vikings at Dolphins.
Dolphins. No update on Tua yet.
He's
No
not gonna
update on
play.
Teddy. They're not at Dolphins. Vikings probably favored by 2. Vikings -2.
That's not big enough. Vikings -4.5.
Yeah.
Vikings -3.
That's such trash. That's such trash.
5-0.
Oh, 5-0. Oh boy.
All right, this next one is Ravens at Giants.
What do you got, John?
Ravens -2.
Nah, Ravens -3.
Ravens -5.
5.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
I guess that makes sense. The Ravens their defense is awesome. The fact, we'll talk about this after. We haven't talked about the Sunday games yet. We'll talk about this after. All right, next one.
All right, we are now in the afternoon games. We have Cardinals at Seahawks.
Johnny, you haven't seen this line yet, have you?
Mm-mm.
Cardinals on the road. The books don't like the Seahawks, points wise.
They don't like the Cardinals either.
Yeah. I'll go Cardinals -5.
That's too much. I'll go Cardinals minus. I think it's a field goal favorite. Cardinals -3.
Cardinals -2.5.
Nice.
Mm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
If I would have told you that before the season, Johnny, what do you think would have happened? Do you think Kyler Murray would
I'm
have
not
injured?
surprised. I'm not surprised.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, it's hard to win road games in your division.
Before the season,
All I do is compliment Geno Smith every time we watch the 10
I know, but
a.m. games
before the
together.
season, that's what I'm saying. Before the season, Johnny, there's no way you would have expected that line. Johnny's on the board, 5-1.
I think it's less about the Seahawks and more about the Cardinals.
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead.
All right, next one we have Panthers at Rams.
Panthers got some Steve Wilkes energy. Oh, this is gross. At Rams, I'm going to go Rams -8.
No, I go first, young man.
Oh.
Rams aren't beating anybody by 8, even though the Panthers are the worst team in the league. Okay, maybe it is a big line. Rams -9.
I'm sticking with Rams -8.
Rams -11.
Woo!
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, next one we have Bills at Chiefs.
We sacrificed the entire slate to get this game. Everybody else had to play shitty games, and now we get this game.
Bills at Chiefs. Chiefs probably barely favored. Chiefs -2.
I'll go Chiefs -2.5.
Bills -2.5.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's in Arrowhead?
Yeah, it's at Chiefs.
Wow.
So that means they think they're going to win by 5.
Wow.
On neutral field, they think they're a 5-point
That
favorite.
line is going to move, Johnny. That's going to be a pick 'em by game time, I bet.
Bills are great. They're not. I mean, I think Chiefs. They're head to head. Okay,
That's awesome. That's a 125 game. Ugh. Why can't that be the Thursday night game? It's so unfair. How is that not a primetime game? What's the Sunday and Monday night games?
You know it's an NFC East
Monday.
game. We haven't heard anybody from the NFC East yet. Sunday night football is going to be.
So Sunday night is Dallas,
there we go.
Cowboys at Eagles, and then Monday is Broncos at Chargers.
I love this league, but I hate it sometimes.
That's terrible. Johnny, it's 3-3 now. Unless we have another afternoon game.
No, the Cowboys at Eagles is the last Sunday night.
You want to just take a whiff at this, Johnny? If you get it on the money, I'll give you a hug.
Oh, how about double points if I get it on the money?
Okay.
Dallas at Eagles.
Yep.
Philly's going to be favored by 4.5.
What is it?
Philly's -5.
Oh, close. Aaron, yeah, that's right. The Chiefs played it. Why can't they be a Monday night game then, or the Sunday night game, not the Thursday night game? It's just whatever. B's in the chat saying, "Dude, I'm gonna pass out from Cliff Screensbury." Yeah, it's not good. All right, before we get into our picks for tonight's game, I just want to recap a little bit of Sunday. Quick little segment, winners and losers, basically. I'll go with. I just really want to talk about what the Ravens did last night. They didn't play man, which is incredible. They love playing man. They played zone, and they played it well. Marcus Peters is a dog. Marlon Humphrey is a dog. The defense is really good. Patrick Queen with a beautiful interception, dropping back into coverage. So that was a fun game. Baltimore's real. They are, even without their best weapon, aside from Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson and Rashad Bateman. That's a scary team. And the Bengals are not very good.
I'm going to give you a little bit of a trade hypothetical if I'm Baltimore. And they don't wheel and deal as much as they used to, like they did once upon a time with Ozzie Newsome. They should call up Carolina and see what they can get for DJ Moore. If you can pry away DJ Moore from the Carolina Panthers, then you should be all over that. But listen, their style of play works in the regular season, but you got to air it out in the winter months. In the postseason, they don't have enough receivers. Don't. If they could compete for the AFC, but they need at least one more receiver.
Yep. Yeah, it is weird. They don't. They spend the least amount of money on receivers by a lot. They just don't do it. So I'd be interested to see what that is. Also, Lamar just loves checking down to Duvernay anyway. So who knows? It's
Bateman and Duvernay are good 2s and 3s, but you need a bona fide 1. And Mark Andrews, think about the single coverage he would get. They need to go out. There are going to be teams that are going to be selling off cards here pretty soon. Baltimore needs to be active.
The Hayden Hurst revenge game was fun. I will say I did like that. Johnny, what was the game that stuck out to you aside from the Cardinals game? Because you covered that in depth at PHNX on PHNX Cardinals. Watch that post game show. It was a good one.
Thank you. Just the Rams this is the year that I think the picks, the lack thereof, the depth on the team, they
Yep.
are true frauds. I
The
still
salary
think
cap
they
is
get-
real.
Yeah, I still think they get into the playoffs. They're too well coached, and they have their roster is too top heavy with Hall of Famers. But they're not going to win anything this year. They're the Cardinals, if they can get hot, God forbid, I could see them leapfrogging the Rams at some point, beating them in LA. To me, it's like Allen Robinson is done. They're going to have to eat that contract. You absolutely love to see he cannot separate their offensive line. You can't fix offensive lines during the season, especially when Matthew Stafford is immobile like he is. So to me, it's like this team probably has a ceiling of about 10 games. But I mean, they get Carolina this week. They're going to beat them. They'll be 500, but it's going to come down to, can McVay get back to what he used to do with Gurley and company and run the football? Because their high octane passing attack, it's dead. It's not going to happen. Beckham saving them in November too. Like, I don't buy that. Like, he's going to be quote unquote ready. Is he going to be game ready? Is he going to be like peak Beckham like we saw last year? No chance. So they've dug this hole. Tutu Atwell's not a good player. The Cowboys literally beat the shit out of them and had 16 attempts yesterday. So I would see they're going to be active. They're going to make a trade. The Cardinals need to be prepared to counter because, I dislike Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers, and injuries permitting, they have the best team in the division. So you have to be comfortable with, playing for a wild card at this point. And the good news is the NFC's, there's so much parity. Everybody's 500. You've got an opportunity. So I would love to see the Rams kind of eat it the rest of the season.
Yeah. Well, we just went over a bunch of lines for this next week. And if you want to get in on that action before they move, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win, get $200 in free bets if they do. So if you haven't signed up yet, use the promo code PHNX, throw $5 on either team you like tonight. And if they win, you get $200 in free bets. And if that's not enough, everybody can experience the thrill of that stepped up same game parlays, which you can use once per game day. I already got mine out tonight with a combination of my picks and props. Get your odds boosted up to 100%. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. It's simple. Just download it today. Use that promo code PHNX. It's promo code PHNX on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for more details. Also, I did just want to shout out my beautiful hat today. Bad Birdie, badbirdiegolf.com. Make sure to go check that out. Use code PHNX Sports for 15% off. Badbirdiegolf.com. Got some fantastic shirts, hats, anything you want if you're a golfer. Even if you're not, they just got some really cool designs, and you can get 50% off when you use that promo code PHNX Sports at badbirdie.com, badbirdiegolf.com. Are the Packers falling from grace? B said, yes, they are. We talked about this. I talked about this at the start of the season.
They were so incredibly arrogant to think that you can get rid of Devonte Adams and piecemeal in the league 2022 and have a receiving core that will be competent. Like their organization led by, does Ted Thompson still work for them? They're not well run right now.
Yeah. Then their defense is really individually talented, but it just can't seem to figure it out. I feel bad for guys like Kenny Clark and Rasul Douglas and Jair Alexander. I was talking about this with you, Johnny. It's just, they have really good talent. You just got to wonder if this is the last couple of years of Aaron Rodgers' success, or if it's already over. We'll see. All right, let's talk about the game tonight. Got a banger division game. Raiders at Chiefs. What do you expect to see from this game, Johnny?
Points, but I also think the under probably was going to hit because I think people are sleeping on Kansas City's defense that plays better as the year progresses. Steve Spagnuolo, pretty underrated defensive coordinator. I expect the Chiefs to roll. I don't take Josh McDaniels, fraud McDaniels, seriously. I don't think the Chiefs are looking ahead, Aaron Lee. I think they feel disrespected. They know Buffalo gets all the headlines during the season. This has been my pick to represent the AFC. Unlike Green Bay, I think the Chiefs did a nice job diversifying their receiving core. Yes, they took a receiver in the draft in Sky Moore, but they added Juju. They stole a receiver from Green Bay. Kelsey's unguardable right now. Clyde's been running the ball well. And then defensively, like Chris Jones has the highest win rate of any defensive tackle in the NFL, even more so than Aaron Donald. He's winning like 50% of the time. And that interior offensive line for the Raiders is terrible. They've been giving up ample pressure all season long. So I don't think this is going to be a competitive game. Derek Carr does not look good this year to me.
The over is getting 94% of the money right now.
Yeah, I think that's fool's gold. I look around the league right now. Offenses are starting slow. Like we bitch about the Cardinals offense. They're middle of the pack right now. Look at all these teams that can't score. I think the Chiefs are going to get theirs, But I think the Raiders are going to have a tough time getting 3 touchdowns in this game. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a divisional game, could go either way, but you know me, I love my divisional unders, especially in prime time. So we'll throw up our picks. We got the same thing. We're both taking the Chiefs -7 and the under at 51.5 points. It feels like a layup. Always weird things can happen. There's a lot of sharp money on Vegas and the over. I'm not buying it. I just, as you said, fool's gold, I think.
Absolutely.
And yeah, what you said about the defense, Steve Spagnuolo's, the defense does get good. And I think this is one of the better defenses he's had in the past. L'Jarius Sneed playing great. Frank Clark playing well. Yeah, I could definitely see it on it. Plus, it's Derek Carr. He's due for a pick tonight, too. So we'll get into our props. Johnny, I know you just got one. And does this have anything to do with Daddy Fantasy?
It might have a little bit of to do with Daddy Fantasy, but at what point are they going to get Darren Waller involved here? He's a top 3 to 5 tight end, maybe a top 3 tight end, and they have made a point to say, Josh McDaniels, we got to get him more involved. Well, tonight's the night. The Chiefs is susceptible in the middle of the field to giving up targets to the tight end. I think anytime touchdown cashes, I think he could have multiple touchdowns tonight because I don't have confidence in Devonte Adams right now. His rapport with Derek Carr was sold to us as fool's gold. I mean, he used to average a touchdown a game plus with Green Bay, and this year it's like pulling teeth getting him the football. Waller gets some easy completions down the middle of the field. The Raiders actually have been pretty good getting to the red zone, but just scheming Waller open. McDaniels, now is the time, and I think they hit it tonight because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have confidence in this Raider offensive line to move Chris Jones and company. I don't think Josh Jacobs does anything.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs is a fraud. He's like my number one stay away in fantasy.
Feels like they lose this game. Like, I wouldn't be surprised he ends up in like San Francisco. I think, look, Kareem Hunt, McCaffrey, some of these backs are going to get dealt in the next couple of weeks.
They lose this game, they're 1-4. They're 1-4. That's not good.
I think they're going to lose this game.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem is like you play in the NFC West, you play in the AFC West, especially the AFC West this year. Like, you can't be bad outside of the division because you're going to get fucked up in your own division. And that's what McDaniels has learned. Like, there are no easy games. I'm sorry. Even the Broncos can play great defense, and I still like the Broncos more than the Raiders.
B's asking if we should take Seattle seriously. I know this is off topic. Their defense is historically bad, so no. They're just the Detroit Lions. That's all they are.
Cardinals, quick soapbox, Bees. Cardinals need to get right offensively. This is the defense to do it against, and the Cardinals defense is playing really good football right now, 18 points per game the last 3 games. If the Seahawks beat the Cardinals this weekend, let's take them seriously. This game to me is going to level set the NFC West.
Speaking of 18 points, that is also the average margin of victory for the Chiefs over the Raiders in the past since 2018, 18.8 points. So I know this is a different offense for both teams, and I know they're both different defenses, but you still just you can't ignore those trends. All right, we'll get into my props. Got 2 tasty ones for you. Devonte Adams, I know he hasn't been producing yards-wise, but he's going to get like 14 targets tonight. He always gets targeted, especially against the Chiefs when he was in Green Bay. I'm taking the over on receptions at 6.5, -125. And then this is a gross little prop because this only hit in week 1, and that was against the Cardinals. But I see a lot of similarities.
You love Jarek.
But I see a lot of similarities between these two teams, the Cardinals and the Raiders defense. I'm taking Jerick McKinnon's over on receiving yards at 8.5. Just one little bubble screen, one little running back screen. It doesn't matter. Just a dump off can get there. Taking his over and receiving yards at 8.5. Mr. Jerick McKinnon.
I like that a lot. What does Clyde always do in nationally televised games? Leaves the game because of injury. Leaves for a couple possessions. That always happens. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right when you're about to wrap your arms around them, blue tent for Clyde. And I don't project or root for injuries, but let's be honest here. He has not been able to stay healthy. I think Jarek gets some touches.
I will say Jerick McKinnon and or Clyde Edwards-Helaire first touchdown scorer prop tonight. Kind of juicy.
Real quick, my father, when he was in coaching, I think Jarek went to Georgia Southern, somewhere down south, and he watched him squat, and he squatted like 1,000 pounds. He's got like the biggest legs of all time. Let me look up where he went to school.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games against the Raiders as well. So if you think he's going to stay healthy, might be worth a sprinkle. Johnny, anything else before you get out of here?
PHNX Cardinals Live today. Myself, Damian Anderson, Bull Brock, as we try to pick ourselves up after yesterday's heartbreaking loss, talking about the positives. A lot of good young players playing for this Cardinal team, winning the games, hopefully, that they're supposed to win. That begins Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to hear from Cliff. maybe some additional comments and insight into what they did and how they botched that. Plus, have the Cardinals released that fraudulent kicker that missed that 43-yarder? Find out today. PHNX Cardinals Live. Do not miss it.
PHNX NFL Live at 3 p.m. Much like the Cardinals, except the opposite way. We're going to be putting ourselves down so we don't get too excited about the win over Washington.
Humble
number
bros.
21, Washington. Yeah, make sure to join us. It's going to be a fun time. I got a lot to talk about. Big week. Son of a hockey starting. Son of a basketball getting ramped up, and ASU football on a bye. So don't miss that, 3 p.m. You can follow me on Twitter at Shane Deef. You can follow Johnny on Twitter at Johnny Venerable. Follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. Follow PHNX_sports across all socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Always a good time over here. Make sure if you want a shirt like this, go to phnxlocker.com as well. But until tomorrow, we're live every Monday through Friday at noon right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. But until then, peace, love, and Jarek McKinnon overs.